Welcome back to How to Prepare, the 7 must-dos, 7 things you must do. I've given you 3 initially in part 1. I'm going to give you the other 4 now in this particular lecture. To give a phenomenal speech, it's important to start preparing your material weeks in advance, okay? So number 4 is be prepared for questions. If your audience are going to be given the opportunity to ask questions, then you need to be prepared to answer questions. So whilst you're in your preparation mode, start thinking about the kind of questions that people might ask. If you're an expert on your topic anyway, you kind of know the kind of questions that people ask you. So be prepared to answer those questions. Do not think that you may only be given the time to speak and then go sit down. Always prepare to answer questions is a good way to get yourself prepared. Okay, number 5, prepare a solid argument or point of view. Prepare a solid argument or point of view. Before you begin kind of writing your speech, it's important to clarify what position you are going to take if it's a kind of topic where you have to defend a particular position. As an example, if you plan to give a speech on maybe recycling, you could present the argument that households need to make an effort to recycle, or that recycling is overrated. Just depends on where you're going to sit. But whatever you choose to sit, be also prepared for the other side or the other point of view that you may need to argue against. So it's kind of very similar to the preparing for questions, but it's slightly different if you're given a speech that requires you to take a position, but then you will have to be able to defend that particular position. Number 6 is avoid being distracted. You've got to avoid being distracted, not only before your speech during the preparation time, but also actually within the hall, when you are in the place or the hall or the room where you're delivering. You know something? I've always found in nearly every time I've delivered a speech or I've given a lecture, there's always one person that is there to be a distraction. And you're going to know how to handle them. One is you try the polite method. I try that. Well, okay, let me talk about myself. I try the polite method of answering your question and then giving you time to talk. Then I'll move on to warning you to say, you know what, we got to give other people time to talk. They tend to be the ones that want to talk a lot. And you wonder, I'm the one here. I'm the one in front. You are not. If you're that great, why aren't you in front? But it's not to put them down, but they kind of just distract the class. You know what I'm talking about. They just distract the whole kind of lecture. So then I've got to now warn them that, you know what, if you feel that maybe class is not for you, maybe you've got to check out another class. And, but hey, put them in their place, avoid being distracted. It's very essential. Otherwise, you're going to get, you're just going to get into a one-to-one with the person instead of actually delivering your lecture to everyone. So it's about not being distracted both before you start, either by family or engagements, and also be prepared for not being distracted during the delivery period as well. Finally, stay within the time allocated. So as you're going through your practice, when you're in your practice mode, one of the things you want to do is to make sure that your speech fits well within the time frame. There's no point writing a brilliant 10-minute speech if you're only allocated 5 minutes to speak, okay? People don't want you to go over time, maybe because they have other things planned. And you don't want to go over so that somebody feels, they're not going to invite you back next time because you went over time and, you really did not stick to what was pre-agreed. So, when you're practicing, kind of find out the time, kind of find out how much time has been allocated to you and stay within that time. So you're going to be able to do that in your practice session so that on the day itself, you'll be able to deliver within time. All right. See you soon.